Mike, you had a different uniform walking into Heinz Field yesterday, but in that same uniform, you walked off a winner. Talk about how it felt walking in there with a different uniform and the feeling of walking off a winner.
It definitely was a different vibe for me. Just being there for years and being on the opposite end, I was excited. We knew we were stepping in the lines then, and we were coming in to make a statement. And the guys were confident this week, and it showed how we played yesterday.
Thank you.
Mike, can you tell us a bit more about this speech that a few of your teammates have mentioned that you talked about and you talked to the team before the matchup?
Yeah, I just wanted them to get a in-depth look of this rivalry. Some have been in it for years, like myself, TB, Sam, some of those guys, but some didn't, like Jamar and Jackson, who made his first start. And I just wanted to let them know the magnitude of this rivalry. And if we want to get to where we want to get, we have to win games like this on the road against opponents like this. So it was just to get guys rolling and get everybody excited to play.
Was yesterday personal for you?
It did have some personal feeling to it. I spent some of my career there, and now being on the opposite end, it was definitely personal. And I'm excited we got the win, but now we got to re-up and focus on for Thursday.
Mike, TB was talking about the demeanor from the Steelers towards the end of that game, especially on that last drive. What did you make of kind of how they played in that last series?
We definitely feel like defensively we had them confused and frustrated. We knew that if we kept pressure on Ben, it'll keep him off balance. And guys up front, they did their job tremendously. They made our job easy on the back end, and we just made a lot of plays when we needed to.
TB was saying that they looked like they quit, kind of gave up there on that last drive with all those drops. And I mean, would you agree with that assessment? And if so, was that kind of surprising for you, given how well you know that?
I mean, that's something you have to ask them. They dropped their passes. We're not complaining. We still had a job to do. We wasn't going to make sure we got them off the field, and we did that and came out with a big win.
Tyler, you see the other team drop that many passes. I mean, a lot of people look at it and say, well, the defense didn't do anything. They just dropped it. But when it's that many, does it almost – do you guys take pride in that it's almost like a cumulative effect where they're tired of being hit by you guys? It's just it wears on them?
Yeah, for sure. If you're physical throughout 4 quarters, some receivers and running backs, they'll be a little iffy catching the ball. And we feel like throughout pretty much the whole game, we were more physical than those guys, and, it paid off in the end.
Mike, obviously you've been around success before and you know what it is to play with confidence and success. Yeah. Do you think this team, as young as it is, can play with confidence, but play well with a little taste of success?
Absolutely. We got a lot of guys with a lot of confidence, and that's where it starts. We shouldn't go in having any doubt that we can't win that game every Sunday. So guys are starting to trust and believe that around this locker room, and we got a big one coming up on Thursday and that we got to take care of. So it'll be another opportunity to prove that.
Mike, if I can follow up real quick, I guess what I'm really getting at is you don't think that you guys are going to be overconfident and just take one win and build it out to be more than it is.
No, like we walked in expecting to win. That's how you should feel every time you step on the field. And the guys in the locker room are believing that and trusting that. And we're going to take this win. It's definitely a confidence booster. I'm not going to say that, but we can't hang on one win. We still got a long season to go.
Mike, how difficult is it to have this emotional road win against your former team and then flip the script and 72 hours from now you got to play, under the lights on Thursday Night Football?
It's tough, but it's part of the game. It's part of our profession. We know how quick this turnaround is going to be. We know Jacksonville, even though they haven't won a game, that they've been in all 3 games pretty close. So we know they're going to come in hype, ready to play. We have to match their energy.
What's the biggest impact they were talking about the way the Steelers receivers were struggling, but you guys were down in the secondary. You were down to your 2 backups there in the, like in the guts of the game when Awuzie went down, you had Darius and Eli. What did you think you get out of them down the stretch?
Nothing we already haven't seen. Those guys step in with confidence. We have confidence in them, and we know they're going to go out there and do their job. we knew once Cheeto went down, a lot more is going to be on Darius' plate, and we was expecting them to come his way. He made his plays when he needed to, and like I said, we came out with a good win.
What's the biggest way you've seen Lou Anarumo make an impact on the defense so far?
Say it again.
What's the biggest way you've seen Lou Anarumo make an impact on the defense in his coordinator role so far?
Just being aggressive, letting us go make plays, especially up front. He's letting those guys get the one-on-ones, and those guys are winning up front. And like I said, on the back end, it's making our job a lot easier. So having the coach with that aggressive mindset, that get after you mindset, is a great thing.
Mike, you got an early,
go ahead.
Mike, you got an early look at what you expect from Trevor Lawrence on Thursday night?
Yeah, I've already got some film on him. He looks good. Of course, he's going to have his rookie mistakes, but he's a very accurate guy. He's athletic. He can make plays outside the pocket. So it'll be a tough challenge, but we'll be prepared.
Mike, you got the jump on Ben on the blitz. You might have went a little too early, but did you think you had that time? Then did you and Ben exchange words then?
I did feel like that one play, it felt like that was going to be the one. He got me with the cadence, but we just had a nice little laugh because, it's something we would do in practice every now and again, and he finally got me in the in-game moments.
Thank you.
Mike, you've seen the tape of you've seen the Bengals tape, from last year, the defensive tape. I mean, it looks like Lou has kind of really changed up the pressure packages, right? I mean, it looks to be it looks to be a different deal.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. He's got a lot of guys that can win the one-on-ones, and he got DBs and me and Vine that can also get back there and wreak havoc in the backfield. So when you got a multitude of guys that can do different things, it makes the defense job a little easier.
Mike, are you the designated back guy in victory formation, or was that a little bit of a nod to you yesterday?
I think it was a nod to me. Also with me going out for the coin toss, I wasn't expecting that. They told me that in the team meeting the night before, so that was an exciting feeling. And to end it, getting on the field in the victory formation, I definitely love that moment.
Mike, when you're turning on the tape during a week of game planning and you see a receiver doing what Jamar has done to opponents over the top the last few weeks, how does that change the way you view a game plan and what you feel like you guys can have to do defensively? How does that change everything for you as a corner?
You got to try to just play top down, give up the 15, 20-yard comebacks, but don't get beat for a 40-yard touchdown. We know with our offense, we got a mix of the perfect receivers. TB's going to work the middle of the field. T and Jamar can work downfield. So, when you got guys that can really cause problems for defenses, it's exciting to see.
Does that kind of leave you alone more? Do you feel like that leaves the slot corner a little bit more alone when the safeties are more worried about what a guy like Chase could do over the top? Is that true, or is that not right?
It can go either way, really. Just depending, how much of a vertical threat that guy is. With Jamar, I'm pretty sure he's going to get a lot of safeties leaving his way, and that's going to open up opportunities for TB and T to make plays.
Mike, you saw how the Steelers had an upper hand in the rivalry. After yesterday, do you think this thing? Do you think the thing has shifted? Do you think there's been a change in the rivalry now? I mean,
I would believe so. I don't know how long it's been since they won in Pittsburgh, but we just felt like from beginning to end we dominated, and we wanted to make a statement not just to the AFC North, but to around the league that we're here and we're ready to play.
When you were walking off the field after and you shook hands with those guys, did you get the sense the message had been sent? Were they looking at you differently?
No, it was definitely all love and respect from those guys, and that's how it'll always be. But they know at the end of the day it was a big win for us, and it's a confidence booster for us, and I feel like we can build off of it.
Mike, you get the defense gets the best seats in the house watching Joe Burrow and throwing to Jamar Chase. Do you guys look at those two guys right now and think, man, we got something special here?
Absolutely. You can just tell how they are when they interact. Them guys, they're close. They've known each other for years, obviously, and they just trust each other on the field, and it shows when they make deep ball plays like that.
Two more minutes.
Mike, it looked like y'all weren't really giving a whole lot of Yeah, Mike, it looked like y'all weren't really given a whole lot of safety help over the top and kind of daring Ben to beat y'all deep. Is that kind of an accurate portrayal? You know,
I would say so. We know he wanted to get the ball out his hands quick. You could tell by that. I want to say Harris had almost 12, 13 catches just from check down. So we knew if we just rallied and, kept the top down, we'll better our chances.
It's still early in the season. Like, how long does it take for a defense to prove it's good? And I guess how do you know when you get there?
Just going against offense. If you're able to keep them, below their scoring average and really make them work for their points, that's a great sign. And over these 3 games, we've been pretty stout. We might have been put in some tough situations like last week where we had a couple of turnovers, but, their offense walked away with field goals. And we take pride in that. And as a defense, you just want to keep the points to a minimum.
You face a different quarterback week to week, Mike, in the NFL. How is Trevor Lawrence going to be a different challenge than Ben?
He's a lot more mobile. We know he's going to take some shots down the field. He's still a rookie, so we can definitely confuse him compared to Ben, who's obviously been doing it for a long time. It's hard to confuse coverage, but against Lawrence, we feel like we move around and make him see different things. It'll put us in position to make plays.